I do know that my future is securely in his hands, and whatever he wants me to do is ultimately, where I'm going to end up anyway. So I don't have to worry about, all of the details. I just have to trust him and know that he's got it all under control, even when it doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's ultimately, he's going to take care of me, because he's the one who placed the desire inside me in the first place. So
you got to honor that spiritual
yes,
gift.
Exactly. And I feel like I would not be honoring it if I didn't pursue, and use my gifts, to the full extent. So yeah, that's the plan.
Nice.
The plan is there is no plan. It's God's plan.
And where can people connect with you?
You can find me on social media. Have Facebook, Instagram. Don't really use Snapchat or Twitter. I do have them. But Instagram is my main platform where I post most of my modeling and acting content. And my username is the Flaming Redhead with an underscore in between each word.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you look up Ariel Hope Santerelli, it'll probably come up as well. And then on Facebook, it's Ariel Hope Santerelli also.
Check her out. Give her more gigs, people.
Please.
Yes.
Need it.
She's very talented. I think I knew within a year of meeting you, this girl's got to be an actress, a performer. I could see you because I met you were already on the praise team when we joined the church. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, this. And then I saw you roll to Bethlehem. And you wanted to be, I think, a physical therapist in college. I'm shaking my head no, this girl's a performer.
That was when I was lost and figuring out what do I want to do with my life. And my family members were saying oh, you should do this. You should go into medical school. You should, do something practical. And I was just I don't think this is me. I don't think this is what I'm meant for. So it took a while for me to find it, but I eventually did. And I decided I didn't want to settle for doing something that was going to make me money that I hated.
That's what a lot of people end up doing.
So many people do it.
Yes.
So many people.
And they're forced to take a job they don't want to in many situations that they've created. But
right. And it's not necessary. Mm-hmm. It's all about what you choose. And, you can choose to make money and hate your job, or you can choose to love your job and just find ways to make it work.
It could lead to this thing, the other thing. Just keep an open mind. Sage advice. Well, I thank you very much, Ariel, for being on the show. It has been an absolute pleasure learning more about your story.
Thank you.
Let's see how you've grown in the last, I'm dating myself, 8 years.
Yeah. I think this is my first podcast interview, too, so it's been really cool.
Yes, and on the artist matters, because the artists do matter. Well, that leads us to our last question. Why does art matter?
Why does art matter? That's a loaded question, but I think, a world without art would just be such a boring place. Who would ever want to exist in a place where there's no music, first of all? That would just be a dark world. I would not want to live in a world without music. And I would not want to live in a world without creativity or inspiration. So art matters because I think it's ingrained in everybody in some way, shape, or form. It's a part of everything we do in our daily lives. And without it, I just don't think the world would be a happy place. I think, God, first of all, is the one who created art, and he is the greatest artist, that has ever been. He's the one who gave us music, who gave us language, who gave us, the ability to create things and inspire other people to create things. So I think it's just a part of life, and it's integrated into everything that we do. And it matters because life is beautiful. Art is beautiful. It's not always clean. It's messy. it doesn't always make sense, but I think who was it? Vincent van Gogh said that life doesn't make sense, so why should art? And I resonate with that. Life oftentimes doesn't make sense. And art is just an expression of that nonsensical thing, that is life.
Amen.
Yeah.
There you have it, everybody. Ariel Hope Santerelli.
Art matters.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
There you have it. Thanks, Ariel, for being on the show and sharing your story. Like I said, I've always wanted to have someone just starting off, and it's so nice to hear her journey and to see how committed she is and expanding her artistic talents to more than just acting, singing, performing, modeling, crafting, and she's on the path. It's great to see that. And she's doing what she can to find ways to make it work. It is a struggle. She's been on so many auditions. It's almost weekly that she goes out, and she'll travel far to go and audition for something. I've helped her audition for a movie, and my wife even helped choreograph a little dance for her for something. Whatever it takes. And she's committed, though. And that is one of the life lessons from this. You have to be committed and go all in. Why not? You've got one life to live. Might as well do what makes you happy. Granted, it could turn into something else, but take it as far as you can and see where it leads you. You've got to move away from that fear. Fear may be trying to catch up to you, and it might be a little bit of a race, but stay ahead of it. And the way to do that is purpose, of course. Be purposeful in what you do. Definiteness of purpose. It's a line from Outwitting the Devil. Great book, but that's one of the ways we can keep the devil off our back, is that definiteness of purpose. And Ariel's faith keeps her grounded. And that's great to see in someone her age. So often we see people in their teens, 20s, just doing whatever, getting into trouble, getting hooked on drugs, booze, bad relationships, getting pregnant early. And it's so nice to see she's following God's plan and working through it and finding ways to make it work. And she's engaged. She wants to start a new life, which includes her creative and artistic side. It's great that her fiancé is very supportive of her. That will help so much in the end. If you don't have a strong team, it's going to be even more of a struggle, but it's great that he's there for her. And I hope it works out that she has a great balance, a wonderful family life and a wonderful career in the arts. She deserves it. She's a natural performer, and a great musician, and a fierce model, too, and very crafty. And I must say, wise for her years. So check her out. I'll list the Instagram page and Facebook page on theartistreallymatters.com in the show notes. So check her out, and if you are in the wedding business, send her some love, people. Photographers, DJs, cake decorators, wedding planners, catering halls. Give her some love. We want her to have a great wedding. And thank you all for checking us out. Once again, theartistreallymatters.com is the site. Share it with friends. Check me out on Apple Podcasts /iTunes. Give us a good review. Subscribe to the podcast. We'll keep this churning out here now that I've got a lot of guests wanting to be on the show. It's going to be fun to get a whole bunch of people and organize these shows, so you'll hear their stories, and I'm very excited to connect with them. So yes, go to the site and share this show with everybody, and check out all the other artists' previous episodes, learn more about them. And if you're in the neighborhood where they teach acting, they do tattoos, or you know they're going to be performing somewhere, check them out. give them some support. And if you know any other artists who'd like to be on the show, drop me a line at artistmatters1, that's the number 1, at gmail.com. Love to hear from you and share your stories to inspire the creative in all of us. And that's what it's all about. Once again, thanks for tuning in. And may this July be lots of fun in the sun. And I will be gaining an age next week. So a birthday is forthcoming, but we'll talk about that next time. So thank you all for being a part of the Artist Matters podcast. And no matter where you go, let your creativity flow.